How did the empire on which the sun never sets turn into a debt-ridden vassal of Washington overnight? Here is the untold story of the massive financial collapse that began in the underground bunkers of London in the winter of 1940. December 1940, London is engulfed in flames as German bombers rain iron down on the city. In a cold, underground bunker, Winston Churchill sits at his desk to write the most difficult letter of his life. The target, FDR. The message, we're broke. Britain had ruled the world for centuries, but now, it didn't have a single cent left to buy a crate of ammo. This wasn't a call for Allied solidarity, it was a formal declaration of bankruptcy by an empire. Under the cash and carry rule, America had already drained nearly all of Britain's gold reserves. When Churchill cried for help, Roosevelt responded with the famous Lend-Lease Act. He sold it to the American public with a cozy analogy: if your neighbor's house is on fire, you lend him your garden hose. But behind closed doors, it was a different story. The U.S. Treasury treated Britain like a bankrupt company in receivership. To ensure the British weren't hiding any spare change, the U.S. forced them to sell off their crown jewels. American Viscose, Britain's most profitable industrial giant, was put on the chopping block and sold to American investors for half its actual value. It wasn't a trade, it was a distressed asset sale. The British were desperate for destroyers. The U.S. agreed to hand over 50 mothballed, World War I-era ships. But the price tag was staggering. In exchange for those 50 rusting vessels, Britain had to hand over 99-year leases for its most strategic military bases, stretching from the Atlantic to the Caribbean. To survive the week, Churchill had to mortgage the empire's geopolitical deed. August 1945. The war is over, and the celebrations begin. But just 7 days into the party, a telegram from Washington shatters everything: Lend-Lease is terminated. Effective immediately. Overnight, Britain was literally starving. The legendary economist John Maynard Keynes went to Washington not as a partner, but as a beggar. Instead of a grant, he was handed a high-interest loan with a poison pill attached: tear down your imperial trade barriers. In other words, open your markets to American goods. To survive, Britain had to set fire to its own economic fortress. The British people didn't finish paying off that survival loan until December 29, 2006. Think about that, 60 years. Winston Churchill saved his country from Hitler, but in the process, he was forced to sell Britain's future to his American ally. The special relationship we hear about today isn't just a partnership, it's a story of dependency that began with the systematic liquidation of an empire.